Your tattoos are inside your immune system, literally. With each very tasteful piece of art, you kickstart a drama with millions of deaths, grand sacrifices, and your immune system stepping in to protect you from yourself. Let's give you a tattoo and zoom in to see what happens inside your skin. The conveyor belt of death.
Right, giving all praises to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai by Hashem HaKodash. Send double honors to our apostles and elders. Her great millstone, peace and blessings to the Lord's hopefully elect. So I came across this clip, which I'm going to play. Just vanity. Jake out there getting these ridiculous tattoos, like on their neck. You know, just pure vanity. And it made me remember this video that I had watched, and I went to go find it again. So we're just gonna have this gentleman explain exactly what's happening to your body when you willfully go get these tattoos. Now, of course, when you come into this truth, we all know we used to do things like that in the world, and then you repent, and then you no longer do it. So, but nevertheless, there's wisdom involved, and there's scriptures on it. So this is why we say here at Great Millstone, you are to get no more tattoos. If you have tattoos, you're to get no more tattoos, because you're really only harming yourself when you really look into it. And when you study the scriptures, the Lord never had us to do such things, like getting that, or like even like smoking. You have a lot of Israelites that want to justify smoking. I mean, they just want to hold on to that no matter what. They call themselves in the truth, but yet they still want to smoke. And they want to say, well, there's no law against smoke. Well, when you really study what the hell you're doing, you're only hurting yourself. You're only hurting yourself. And you can't get through to a lot of niggas like that. You just let them be. I don't argue with a nigga when it comes to smoking. I'm just telling you, look, we don't do it and we don't teach it. All you got to do is look up what actually happens when you are smoking. You're only harming yourself. You're only harming yourself. And when you study the scriptures, when it comes to the herb, the Lord created the herb to be consumed, not to be abused, such as lighting it on fire. Do you know how many chemicals you are not only igniting, but inhaling when you do that? That's why there's no benefits to smoking. If you're smoking, you got issues. But anyway, this is on the tattoo. I'm just going to let him explain to you what really goes on when you get a tattoo.
Starting your flesh right below the moving border wall. This region and below is where your new tattoo will go. Okay, ready? The world explodes. Half a dozen monoliths the size of skyscrapers slam through the 50 layers of dead cells deep into the dermis, ripping huge holes into the skin, only to retreat and smash through the tissue again about twice a second. Tens of thousands of cells are violently killed right away, ripped into pieces, or damaged beyond repair. Luckily, you did your research and chose a responsible tattoo artist who properly disinfected their tools and your skin. But you only ever get 99.9% of all bacteria, and some of the survivors made it into your flesh. To put it mildly, your immune system is not amused at all. All the death and destruction wakes up hundreds of thousands of macrophages in your dermis that rush into the open wounds to defend you. Immediately, they start killing bacteria, release chemicals that call for reinforcements, and order your blood vessels to open up and make your dermis swell up with fluid. But worse than the hundreds of wounds and a few invaders is the tidal wave of chemicals that floods your tissue. Tattoo ink can be made from hundreds of substances. Some may even be toxic or carcinogenic. Most are from heavy metals like lead, nickel, or chromium dissolved in distilled water. The battlefield is now a wild mix of dead cell parts, a few panicked bacteria, blood and bodily fluids, platelet cells trying to close wounds, more and more fresh immune cells, and the flood of tattoo ink. On the scale of your cells, clumps of ink particles are huge. If you were the size of a cell, they'd range from big dogs to small office buildings. Your immune system has one main job: identify what is not you and smash it until it's dead. The macrophages are desperately trying to do that. Like tiny octopuses, they extend arm-like structures and begin pulling the ink particles inside. Usually when a macrophage has eaten an enemy, it showers it in acid to dissolve it. But this doesn't work with the ink. They try and try, but nothing works. The particles don't react in any way. And this is just the particles small enough to be devoured. By now, the larger chunks are surrounded by thousands of your structural skin cells and macrophages that are nomming on them, bathing them in acid and attack chemicals, trying to destroy and kill them. But they're not moving even a tiny bit. Nothing works. Finally, your immune system has to concede. It will not win this fight, so it does the next best thing, not lose. Your cells don't know how dangerous these metals and chemicals are, but they can at least not let them spread around. So they just stay in place. They vacuum up all the particles they can fit into their bodies and surround the larger ones, trapping them in the only prison they can build, themselves. Bit by bit, the ink inside thousands of tiny wounds moves inside millions of immune cells that freeze in place forever. On the outside, you don't notice any of this. Your new tattoo is fresh and the colors are vibrant. Your skin hurts and is irritated and swollen. But wounds heal, tiny holes close, dead cells are replaced. Bit by bit, the conveyor belt of death does its job, shedding dead cells ripe in color, replacing them with fresh and clean ones. Your tattoo becomes a little less vibrant, now the ink is no longer on your skin, but inside it. But what you're really seeing is millions of your macrophages sitting in your dermis, patiently holding the ink in place, protecting your body from poison. Your immune system is why your tattoo is forever. Actually, nothing is forever. Over time, your macrophages get old and die, and new ones come in to gobble up the ink and keep it in place. But sometimes a tiny bit of ink escapes. Most of it is recaptured and locked in place, but not always the exact same place. You notice that as your tattoo fades out a bit and turns less sharp and crisp at its edges. Some of the ink escapes the tattoo entirely. It rides fluids flowing from your tissue and spreads around your body, another reason why tattoo ink should ideally not be poison. Your immune system also kind of doesn't want you to remove tattoos. To do that, usually the ink is shot at with lasers, which heats up the particles until they...
All right, that's good enough. You can go watch it. So this is the clip I watched that really just made me want to go find this video to do a lesson on it from this guy here.
Bust on your throat? Son, you got bust on your throat? Now, in your defense, getting questionable throat sack chaser tattooed on his throat. As Lawrence Johnson would say, throat for sale, one of one throat. The throat quencher. This man would like everyone to know he has one deep throat. Javante here has the blessed neck and the soul snatching throat. Super Saiyan throat. This throat will send you to heaven. Honorable mention to this guy right here with these two insane inner thigh pieces. How did you position yourself to get that tattoo, my nigga? Honorable mention to this brother right here. I know it stands for cash rules everything around me, but you have dripping cream on your...
So let's just be for real. This shit is just vanity. Now, like I said, if you got it in the world, then we understand. At one point we were lost, but then there we were found. We were aliens from the Lord. You know, we did things when we were, in the world. Me personally, I don't have any tattoos, but we all done these things when we were in the world. We thought we were being cool. We were just following the trend, but then we came into truth, and then we put away such things. Now, so we're just going to highlight what the law says, right? This is Leviticus 19, verse 28. I started 27. It says, "Ye shall not round the corners of your heads, neither shalt thou mar the corners of thy beards." This is why we say you can't put a razor to your head, like getting bald. If you're willfully putting a razor to your head to bald your head, it's a sin. Why is that? Because when the Lord established us as Israelites, okay, there was the things he told us not to do were some of the things that these heathens were actually doing. When he gave us the law, just like here, right? If you go Leviticus 18, "And the Lord Yahweh spake to Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and saying to them, I am the Lord Yahweh your power. After the doings of the land of Egypt wherein ye dwelt shall ye not do, and after the doings of the land of Canaan, whither I bring you, ye shall not do. Shall ye not do, neither shall ye walk in their ordinances." Okay. Ye shall do my judgments and keep mine ordinances to walk therein. I am the Lord your power. So the Egyptians and the Canaanites, they had their own ordinances. Now check this out. Verse 5, ye shall therefore keep my statutes and my judgments, which if a man do, he shall live in them. I am the Lord Yahweh. None of you shall approach any to that is near of kin to him to uncover their nakedness. I am the Lord Yahweh. The nakedness of thy father, nor the nakedness of thy mother, thou shalt not uncover. She is thy mother, thou shalt not uncover her nakedness. And it goes on the list, right? How basically you can't be with your own sister, no matter if it's your half sister, right? These people are like close kin to you. Just like verse 12, it says, thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy father's sister. She is thy father's near kinswoman. So that's your auntie. Now, why is he had to give us the law on this? Because these are the things that those other nations do. Just like sodomy. Okay, sodomy. Verse 22, thou shalt not lie with mankind as with womankind. It is an abomination. Neither shalt thou lie with any beast to defile thyself therewith. Neither shall thy woman stand before a beast to lie down thereto. It is confusion. He says, defile not ye yourselves in any of these things, for in all these things the nations are defiled, which I cast out before you. The nations, those Hamites, they did all these things. They basically lived lawlessly. When the Lord established us as his people, he told us the true way of living as a people. This is how he told us to live. And if you basically do these things, you're basically acting like the heathen. So, and just like when our people who like to shave their head bald, I mean, these are people who they can grow hair, but they put a razor to it because they want to be bald. It's because they're getting that from the other nations. Really, today they're really getting it from the Edomites, but the other nations, the Hamites, they did those things. They would put a razor, shave their beard off with a razor. You're not supposed to do that. And guess what happens? All you got to do is just do the research. This is how you figure out why the Lord told us not to do these things. When we put a razor to our beard and we shave our beard off with a razor, we get razor bumps. It's a curse to us. The other nations, like the Edomites, they do it habitually. That's just natural. They don't care. But we get a problem when we do it. It's because we're not supposed to be doing that. Okay, you're not supposed to put a razor to your beard and just completely remove the hair from the follicle, just like from your head. You're not supposed to do that. Like you get a haircut, you can cut your hair low. Okay, if you have a big bushy beard, trimming it is fine, but you're not supposed to razor it. You understand? Because now you're marring it from off your face, and in the eyes of the Lord, that's a sin. So you don't do it. So, and I wanted to bring up to the point that it's and really you should just grow your beard as a man. It's really in reality, if men do it, it's because they're trying to look pretty for the women. Okay, I've heard men tell me the reason, which I know a lot of them are just using it as an excuse, but a lot of them could tell the truth. I've heard men that just say the reason they won't grow their hair out, period, like their hair. Oh yeah, you said their beard too, and it's because they'll say, "Oh man, I like the hair, like the afro," and then I'll make a joke. Oh yeah, it's cool. That's I'll be like, you can join in anytime. And jokingly, the response I always get, oh no, the wife wouldn't, she wouldn't, because they'll say the same thing about the beard. So, or they'll say, what's the reason you grow your beard? It's like, what the hell's the matter with you? I'm just a man. I'm just letting it grow naturally. Apparently, that's strange to them. And they'll say, oh, my wife, nope, my woman, she wouldn't. So a lot of people, a lot of them telling the truth, or their woman would be upset if their beard grows out. These guys here, man, you're supposed to grow it out. Okay, if you have one, grow it. What's the reason for you not to have a beard on your face if you're able to grow one? Just for the sake of, now if you have a job, we understand that in this wicked ass society, a lot of brothers have to, and it's killing them really to do it. Hey, the Lord sees, our sacrifices, right? But some of you who just doing it for the sake of a fashion and getting in lineups and doing these things just for the world view, for your woman, right? When you study our customs, the Lord never told us to do these things for vanity, right? For customs. When you saw a man in the ancient with his head, like his hair pulled out, he like pulled hair off his head. if he pulled his hair off his beard or whatever it is, it's because he was in the state of mourning. Most likely it was because he was in a state of mourning, or he was fulfilling a vow of some sort, like a Nazarite. You didn't just do it because it was a fashion trend. No, that's why when we come to the truth, we get on men for that. We say, look, grow your beard out. Stop trimming, stop putting a razor to your beard. What's the reason you don't have a beard on your face? And, a lot of y'all just doing it for fashion statement. That's why we when apostles get on brothers for that, because they know that for the most part, you're doing it just for the sake of fashion, to appease the women, and you really got no business doing that. For what? For what? Why are you putting a razor to your head bald? Right? You're doing it for women. You know what I'm saying? That's why the apostles get on brothers about that. Right? It's because they know, inwardly you're trying to hold on to this custom of, well, I can still do this, because you're trying to appease the world. The Lord wants us to be a holy, righteous people like him, which is what I'm going to explain. So you're still holding on to these customs of the world. Like, say, like if anybody, I've never seen anybody still argue about getting tattoos, but this is the reason why. All you got to do is just study what it's doing to yourself, and you can see why the Lord doesn't want us to do something like that. So if we go back in Leviticus 19, verse 27, it says, "Ye shall not round the corners of your heads, neither shalt thou mar the corners of thy beards. Ye shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead, nor print any marks upon you. I am the Lord Yahweh." So this is what we use to say, no tattoos. Now, you may say, well, it says for the dead. It says for the dead. Well, again, yeah, when you study the customs of the other nations, they did these things. Maybe if they lost a father, they would probably mark the name on themselves, or hell, they could put his image on themselves, right, as a way of mourning. But it also says, nor print any marks upon you. Okay, that word in the Hebrew for print, Nathan. It says to give, right, to give. It could also be used as to publish or to put, right? To give, to put. So you shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead, nor print any marks upon you. So the Lord, let's get that word mark. Okay, in the Hebrew is kwaya. It says, so an imprinted mark, a tattoo. So it's literally cutting into the skin, which is what a tattoo is. It's cutting into the skin several times a second with ink. But you see the damages that it's doing to your body. You're ultimately just hurting yourself. Okay. Now, I have heard, like the brother shared one time, this Christian pastor was going into that, oh, it's not talking about tattoos. It's talking about hurting yourself to get the Lord's attention, because he referenced Elijah and those 450 false prophets of Baal, and how they cut themselves to make themselves hurt to get the attention of their false god. And I said, okay, that could be viewed as that. You could say that could be viewed as that. He said that the Lord doesn't want you to hurt yourself to get his attention. Okay, I would say that's sound advice as well, but you still shouldn't get any tattoos, for the simple fact that when the Lord created you, okay, he gave you an immune system to actively work to protect you. To getting a tattoo, you are actively harming yourself. And the Lord he didn't want us to do those things. These vain, stupid, superfluity things that you see these jakes doing, getting tattoos on the neck and the chest, just vanity. Vanity, absolutely vanity, for no reason. The Lord don't want us to do that. Okay? Simple. Leviticus 11. Now this is dealing with the creatures. Just like you got Jake, you see what happened when we get to the law, and how Jake want to fight the law tooth and nail. But when you go to just study it, you will see the benefits behind it. But Jake, nope, I got to eat my pork. I can eat whatever I want. Don't matter, how long as I believe in the Lord, I can still eat the things. But you're harming yourself. Your body literally fails you The reason you got to take all those high blood pressure, high cholesterol, all those medications, insulin, all that goes back to your poor diet. Your body is literally telling you that something's wrong, and you're still voluntarily injecting or consuming that which is not good for, and it causes sickness. It's telling you that it's sick. It's telling you to change what you put in it, but you still want to be stubborn and say, no, I want to do it. So just like when it comes to pork and all these things, Jake want to still eat that, hurt themselves, then they're sinning. Okay? Jake want to get tattoos even after they come into this truth, because you want to make an argument that, oh, it doesn't technically say tattoos. Okay, well, why don't you look at what it's doing to your body? The Lord didn't want you to suffer your body to do those things. And for what? Well, I'm going to get a Bible scripture on my tattoo. That the Lord doesn't care about a physical mark. How about you apply the scripture? Apply it in your mental. Make it a mark in your mental and apply it. You see, these things are just vanity. People getting a cross tattooed on them, all that stuff like that means something to the Lord. No. Leviticus 11. Verse 44, for I am the Lord Yahweh your power. Ye shall therefore sanctify yourselves. Talking about your body. Sanctify your body. Sanctify means to make holy. So you look at yourself with higher standard. You take care of yourself. Okay, it says, and ye shall be holy, for I am holy. Neither shall ye defile yourselves with any manner of creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. For I am the Lord Yahweh that brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. Ye shall therefore be holy, for I am holy. So we're supposed to be holy like the Lord is holy, and that includes your vessel and how you treat it. The dietary law was given to us to ensure that, and he really revealed the secrets to us of what's really beneficial for the body and for us. He gave it to us to ensure that we live long, lengthy lives, which we were created to be. And he understands, because he created our body and our immune system, what's needed for it to survive. So he gave us clean foods to enjoy, but some foods are considered unclean. It's not meant for consumption. Like pork is not meant for human consumption. Just like smoking. Okay? Jake want to run to Genesis chapter 1 is justification for smoking. As Genesis 1:29 says, and the powers, Elohim, said, behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat. They use that as an excuse to say, it's an herb. I'm free to do whatever I want with it. It said, yeah, but it said it shall be to you for meat. Meat as in for health. Is good for you for your health. And even then, you have to be mindful. You have some herbs that are too strong. And you have to, if you're going to consume them, it's really in small quantities. Really, you're only consuming them if your body needs it. Like if you're sick or something like that. Okay, you don't just consume medicine for the sake of consuming medicine. Only if it helps. But there are some greens, like you can eat greens like collard greens, kale greens. You can eat that as food. But then there are some herbs that you can only use in very small amounts. Why? Because it's stronger and it can kill you if you consume too much of it. So it's not to be abused. It's to be used in their proper uses. So you want to use marijuana and say that's a plant. Yes, but it's not supposed to be smoked. And that's our argument. You're not supposed to smoke anything. There is no healthful benefits of smoking anything. It only damages yourself and your lungs. The Lord did not create us and gave us commandments to do such things that would harm ourselves. You understand? All that stuff comes from the world. But Jake want to fight it. I can still smoke. I can smoke. Sure. Okay, you go ahead and smoke. You just can't come around us. We ain't with that shit. We don't do that shit. Okay? Well, I'm in the truth, but I'm gonna go get a tattoo. That's fine. You ain't GMS. You came in the truth and you go get a tattoo willfully, you get kicked out. Okay? Because that just shows a sign of rebellion. That shows that you still have a 1 foot in the world. Okay? That you go and do these things. You're only harming yourself. And you're just doing it for it's vanity. It's absolute vanity. Again, we did those things in the world when we didn't know any better. When we came into the truth, then we know like, oh man, okay, I'm not going to do anymore. So you just don't get any more. Colossians 3:5. Mortify therefore your members which are upon the earth. That word mortify means to make dead. It's the Greek word for necro, which is where the word Negro comes from. So when we call ourselves Negroes, because Negro means black, black represents death. That's why we say we're not black. We say so-called black. We're Israelites. And we're different shades of brown. So mortify your members which therefore upon the earth. Fornication, adultery, uncleanliness. And that's what tattoos can be marked as, uncleanliness. It's not clean. It's not holy. You got holy, then you have unholy. You have clean, and you have unclean. Okay? Uncleanliness is that which is not clean. Tattoos are not clean. They're not cleaning your body. They add no benefit to your body. The Lord never wanted us to do it. Okay? A lot of you just need to trust in the commandment of the Lord. Well, I really want to get these lined up so I can look nice and sharp and crisp. For who? When you're doing that, they're literally taking a razor and they're altering your line. You know, they're basically balding it to make it look a certain way. Guess what? According to the scriptures, that's wrong. That's off. You're not supposed to mar it completely off. That's what they do with those razors. Okay? It says inordinate affection, evil concupiscence, and covetous, which is idolatry. These are all the things that we did in the truth before we came into truth. Okay? It said, for which things sake the wrath of Yahweh cometh to the children of disobedience, in the which ye also walked sometime when ye lived in them. So we're guilty of doing these things, but then we refrain from it. And then we teach others not to do it. Okay? It says, but now ye also put off all these, anger, wrath, malice, blasphemy, filthy communication out of your mouth. Lie not one to another, saying that ye have put off the old man with his deeds. And that's part of it. Tattoos, smoking, eating pork, all of that are considered old mans with their deeds. Now you want to look at yourself as holy. You want to sanctify yourself. You want to look at yourself with some confidence. Get some self-respect about yourself. Study the immune system. Study how the human body works and what the secrets the Lord revealed to us and how to boost our immune system, boost our health, the secret to good health and all that. And I can tell you right now, you're not going to find smoking in the scriptures as a benefit. You're not going to find tattoos in the scriptures as a benefit. None of these things. These are the laws that when the Lord gave us these commandments to fall by, we set an example on the planet as of who the holy people are. All these people getting tattoos and all that, that's Edomite stuff, man. And these other nations. Let them Edomite. You got Edomite, especially women. They'll literally shave half their head bald to get a tattoo on their head. So now they permanently are going to have their hair bald on just to show that tattoo. That's complete vanity and it's stupidity. Women getting tattoos on their foreheads. People getting tattoos on the neck. Those are customs really of the other nations. When they looked upon us, they would say, truly these people here, as Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 5 says, behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord Yahweh my power commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whither ye go to possess it. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. We already got the scoop. We supposed to lead by example to the planet. It wasn't supposed to be no cases of incest in Israel, adultery in Israel, right? If we took good care of our diet, cancer wouldn't even be found in Israel. High blood pressure, all that stuff wouldn't be found for the most part in our people, but it'd be found in the other people. Why? Because they eating pork. They got lice and all these because of their poor diets, right? They getting killings and confusion because they commit adultery. Every man sharing wives and all that other stuff. When it came to the Israel, they were supposed to say those are wise people right there. Their diet is why they live so long or why they don't have these issues. The reason they keep the Sabbath, right? That's why they just look so refreshed. They feel so refreshed. Their land is yielding all these good crops because they believe in rest. They understand these things. Their families, their communities are prospering because they believe in order of the Lord. They not sleeping with each other's wives or anything like that. Man, those people are truly the wise and her people. And we ain't supposed to have none of those tattoos. We ain't tattooed bald heads, bald beards. Hell no. That's the other nations. Okay, so you can go watch the video if you like, but this is what we talk about when it comes to tattoos. You're not to do those. They're just not healthy for you. Now, if you're one of those ones that say, well, I'm going to smoke and get tattoos and still believe, you go right ahead. And any problems that you catch with your health, you can only blame yourself, because the Lord gave you the instructions how to be healthful, how to be of good. In the end, the scriptures tell you that that's what a wise man would do, because it get to a point, okay, nigga, I ain't got to argue with you. You want to hurt yourself? That's on you. That's on you. Hey, just like with the long hair. Jake will fight for that long hair, super long hair coming all the way down. And it's like, okay, you want to have that long hair. You only going to hurt yourself in the long run. It's only going to be a burden to you in the long run. I'm not about to argue with these niggas when it comes to this simple shit. If you don't want to help yourself and you want to rebel, understand the Lord is trying to help you. So look, the time's going to come where you're going to see that long hair is going to get you into some shit. Just like it did King David's son. You're going to see that smoking. Hey, when you got to go to that doctor and you got a failed lung, okay, when your kidneys are failing, you want to eat that pork, go see your doctor, right? Did not the scripture says, he that sinned against the Lord, let him fall into the hands of a physician. And did not Proverbs chapter 8. See, we can go all day. This is what wisdom will teach you. This is not Proverbs chapter 8 talking about wisdom, saying, verse 34, blessed is the man that hears me and watch daily at my gates, waiting at the posts of my doors. For whoso findeth me findeth life, and shall obtain favor of the Lord Yahweh. But he that sinneth against me wrongeth his own soul, and all they that hate me love death. So you niggas want to get mad at counsel that help you. You want to keep your long hair. You want to eat pork. You want to smoke. You want to get tattoos. By all means, go right ahead. You've been warned. Now, when that shit catches up to you and you go see the physician that the scriptures say and you harm yourself because you want to stick to your vanity, that's on you. A lot of times you got to let these people learn by themselves, man. Let them learn by themselves. You give them the scriptures. They don't want to listen. Okay, fine. Fuck. Okay, well, look, you just can't come around us. Little simple shit. This is Jake you talking to. Okay, that's why I don't argue with nigga no more with the long hair. I did that already. I mean, Jake got mad. And it's like, oh, okay, well, by all means, carry on. And when that shit catch up to you, that's on you. Okay? And it's really just supposed to be about tattoos, but it got into going everything, right? About the law. These are simple things that we get on Jake about that they just find like, no, I just have to do it. Understand that you're only doing it because you haven't fully mortified your members and you haven't fully unplugged yourself from this world and let the water of the scriptures cleanse your mind and really see things for what they are. And you would truly see that this is all just to help you and yourself. Okay, but like it's written, man, let them fall into the hands of a physician. With that, shalom.